Spider-Man. You all know what Spider-Man is. You know, the superhero from Marvel. You know, the one of the most popular superheroes out there. Like, apart from, like, Batman or the other Avengers. Yeah. And today I'm going to be doing a tier list on all the movies, especially since I saw No Way Home just yesterday, and it was pretty good. I loved it. But I'm just going to do, like, the order of all the Spider-Man movies and what did I think of them and putting them on this tier list. I'm not counting the Venom movies, but what do I think of the Venom movies? They were good. They're alright. Some were a bit off, but I don't know. But yeah, we're just doing the Spider-Man movies this time. So yeah. Let's start off with Tobey Maguire. Okay, so let's start off with the first Spider-Man movie. Brilliant start to the movie. Brilliant start to like the Tobey Maguire trilogy or Sam Raimi's or whatever you call the trilogy. Yeah, I say Tobey did a fantastic job playing Peter Parker. Like, he does like a speech in these movies and he just does pretty good. Like, he's also the only like Spider-Man who doesn't have to have like web shooters that just come straight out of his body. Because Andrew and Tom don't have that. They just have web shooters, don't they? But yeah, because I've been watching all of the Spider-Man movies. But Willem Dafoe, he did a fantastic as a Green Goblin. I don't care if people get disappointed if it was a suit or anything. I still thought the suit was alright. So I say it's a masterpiece. I'll put it up here. My favorite Spider-Man movie, but it's a close one. It's definitely a close one. Spider-Man 2. Also probably up there because Spider-Man 2 was probably my favorite in the trilogy. And because Doc Ock, because Alfred, he did pretty good as Otto. Fantastic roles, and I'm glad he came back in Spider-Man No Way Home, even though all the villains did, but he just had such a good role. Both Tobey and Alfred did pretty great. I don't know, just Spider-Man 2 is an example of a sequel being better than the original. And you don't see that every day, you don't always think of the sequel as being better, but Spider-Man 2, yeah, it definitely was. Spider-Man 3, okay, I'm gonna put Spider-Man 3 decent. And also, I'm always a bit rough, but roughly, what am I saying? I don't know if I will put anything on terrible or not, because I always found it a bit harsh, but Spider-Man 3, I did enjoy some bits. I liked the Sandman, he was pretty great. I like how he's a misunderstood character. I also like in the Sam Raimi trilogy that, you know, we get to enjoy the villains, like they have a good backstory and everything. What do I think of Topher Grace's Venom? He was okay, but he was a bit off, and of course, I guess Venom did look a bit too skinny in that movie. I think a lot of people were complaining about that. But Spider-Man 3, it was a decent way to end the trilogy, but is it as good as the first two? No, definitely not. Alright, so on to The Amazing Spider-Man, or Andrew Garfield. The Amazing Spider-Man, I'm just gonna put it on great. And I also like how Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, he's more like this kid who tries to be cool. I like how all the three Spider-Men have like a different personality, like their own independent ways. I like that. The Lizard, he was okay. He did look a bit off, but what I think about it, he was alright. He was alright. But Andrew Garfield, he's an alright Spider-Man, not the best one, but he did a good job. He did a good job. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Ooh, which one should I put it on? I don't know. Which one should I put it on? Should I change my mind? Yeah, why not? Electro. What do I think about Electro? Yeah, I quite like the Electro. I think it was probably one of my favorites in the Andrew Garfield movies. Because he was another character I feel bad for because he was so friendly before he became Electro Max. Like, yeah, I think Jamie Foxx did alright. I mean, yeah, sure, Electro definitely does not look like the character. But I kind of like his look. He looks pretty creepy and I like that. But at least they fixed him up in No Way Home, so that's good. But I did feel bad for him. Green Goblin, he was alright. Definitely not as good as Willem Dafoe or James Franco's Harry Osborn, but it was alright. And of course, this is basically, and then you didn't have there wasn't a third Amazing Spider-Man movie, but oh well. Spider-Man Homecoming, yeah, I put on amazing. Tom Holland, yeah, he's an alright Spider-Man as well. Uh, yeah, he's pretty different compared to the other two Spider-Man. And of course, it's the MCU, since a lot of people were screaming when he appeared in Civil War. But we're talking about the Spider-Man movies here. And the Vulture, yeah, the Vulture was alright as well. Quite liked the Vulture. I mean, yeah, what a plot twist that he was actually the girl that Peter had a crush on before. MJ was yeah, like the Vulture was Liz's dad. I think her name was Liz. Was it? Was it Liz? Yeah, but Spider-Man Homecoming, yeah, pretty decent start. I like how Peter was a bit of a Star Wars fanboy and a bit of a Iron Man fanboy himself, I guess. But Spider-Man Homecoming pretty good, but not the best Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Oh, I'm putting it on this. I'm kidding. Definitely a masterpiece because that was probably the best animated movie that came out and probably the best movie of 2018. Because the art style, the animation, it was just so good. It looked like a full action comic. Like the animation looks like almost like a stop motion comic movie or something. And Miles Morales, I quite liked him. He was a pretty great Spider-Man. Gwen Stacy was also pretty great. And Haley Stanfield, I don't know how to pronounce her name, is returned in the Hawkeye series, so that's also interesting. And of course, Kingpin was the villain, who's also in Hawkeye as well. Jesus Christ! But Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, probably the best animation I've ever seen. And yeah, it was so good. It was probably one of the best Spider-Man movies in my opinion. Spider-Man Far From Home. I say I'll put it here. Spider-Man Far From Home probably did have a little more interesting stuff compared to Spider-Man Homecoming. Mysterio or Beck, I'd say he was pretty cool. I liked his illusion scene with he was like manipulating Peter and everything. It was a pretty cool scene. It just shows what this character is truly like. And also I like how MJ has more of a character compared to Homecoming, because Homecoming she wasn't really much. Because, well, Peter wasn't crushing on her. Yeah, was he? And there's also ways how what if Peter didn't give back Edith, the glasses, then obviously the rest of Far From Home, and obviously Spider-Man No Way Home wouldn't have happened, because we all know what will happen in Spider-Man No Way Home. But Spider-Man Far From Home, that was another good memory for me. I like how everyone was like traveling and everything. It was pretty nice. Now finally, the one I've only seen yesterday, Spider-Man No Way Home. There might be spoilers in this, and if you don't like spoilers, then I might need you to leave until you've seen the movie yourself. And I'm warning you, I'm putting spoilers. Masterpiece? Because it was so good. It was so good. We've got the old villains back from Tobey Maguire, from Andrew Garfield. We have Green Goblin, we have Doc Ock, Sandman, Lizard, Electro. They're all back. Venom isn't back. And if you thought Tom Hardy was going to appear, I didn't see him. I mean, I didn't see any post-credit scenes because I didn't bother staying in there. But Spider-Man No Way Home was so good. Now here's the spoilers here, okay? Does Toby and Andrew appear or not? And I'm warning you, spoilers. Yes, they do come back. They come back from a sling ring and they both appeared. And when I saw it, the audience was actually screaming. The audience doesn't usually scream. But they did. They were screaming and then they were clapping. They were all so happy and honestly I got excited myself. I got pretty emotional. But still, didn't think they were actually going to appear. I was honestly starting to think Andrew Garfield was right about the leaks being fake, but if they were fake, I would have felt bad for him doing all that for nothing. But yeah, No Way Home was so good. I also got emotional when Peter reunited, Tobey Maguire's Peter and Doc Ock met face to face one more time. It was emotional seeing the two legends being their characters one more time. It was great to have Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man at least one more time. And yeah, it also is pretty sad that MJ, Ned, and even Happy don't remember Peter anymore since no one remembers him being Spider-Man anymore because that was the only way everything would be saved, I guess. And MJ, wait, no, not MJ, Aunt May. Aunt May does die. Norman kills her. So obviously she can't really forget, can she? Because she's gone. Yeah, there we go. I just mentioned a spoiler. I warned you if you were watching this anyways. Now, yeah, I know I didn't put anything on terrible. I must always find it a bit too harsh because I didn't hate any of these movies, but they were all so good. Spider-Man No Way Home was a bit of a masterpiece. I say it was worth the wait. But yes, Toby and Andrew, they did appear, and like I said, it was great that Toby and Otto reunited because that actually was a pretty emotional scene. And also because all the villains kind of redeemed. Because the villains, they were misunderstood. Like Sandman, he just wanted to save his daughter. Electro, he was bullied. Doc Ock, the things on the tentacles or whatever, kind of make him aggressive and everything. But yeah, that's all I could say for this tier list. I don't usually do these kind of videos because I'm pretty shit at describing everything because of how vague I always am. But yeah, that's all I could say. So bye. Boy to Me is out. That was the worst outro I ever did. Okay, bye.